Welcome to the Small Business Breakthrough Podcast, where every week we are interviewing special guests involved that are small businesses that are helping small businesses. But we have a unique business today. They're small right now, but growing rapidly. And I've got John Fly, who's the CTO of Firm Pilot, and they are an AI powered marketing services. So, for you listeners out there that are return guests, we've talked about AI in almost every single episode to date. And this is a guy that is working specifically with AI to power marketing services and really start to take the human ego, which we all have them, out of how marketing is developed. John, I'm so encouraged to have this conversation today. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
John, give us a high level overview and a quick introduction to what Firm Pilot is and the
Sure.
problems that you're solving for your clients.
Sure. So we are AI powered marketing. And what that really means is Firm Pilot's delivering our customers more customers, right? Everybody wants more customers. Our key client right now is law firms. And what we really manage for them are blog posts, social media posts, pay-per-click ad campaigns. Google Business Profile is big because these are local-based businesses. Um, and we really help them rank very highly on Google and get eyes on their social media to drive their ideal customer to their front door, to get that phone call, to get them a case, to get them a customer.
And it sounds like you guys have built a really interesting engine for this because a lot of firms utilize AI such as ChatGPT or
Mhm.
various different other AI platforms to, go put some text in, get some information out. A lot around copy, maybe a little
Mhm.
bit around visuals and whatnot. But it sounds like you guys are building a whole ground up approach to this. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So what we're trying to do is really leverage the best of breed technology. So it's a mix of third-party systems that we're leveraging and bespoke software that we're building and integrations that we're building to really ensure, again, our customers are law firms. So our content generation pipeline uses the best current models that are available. We're constantly testing the base models. We're doing content generation. We're doing link building. We're doing editing. We're doing image selection, all of it. So it's just a big backend content machine that takes our client's profile and information and their SEO strategy that we build with them. And out the other end of this factory, this automation factory, comes blog posts and social media posts, very tailored to get them recognized in the specific areas they're really after. So instead of just trying to do a marketing blitz to get eyes on them, our content generation system is really tailored towards tuning the knobs to get them the specific customers that they're after, to rank on the specific keywords that they want to be known for.
Excellent. That's so they're using all kinds of good technology to be able to just thoroughly help from a just top down approach.
Mhm.
Sounds amazing and really driving towards that next evolution. We've talked a lot in the past podcasts on how AI is driving this. And I've been talking like 3 to 5 years, and you're like, oh, wait, it's here today. Like it's going, and you're working with it with law firms. Sounds like even looking to go even further with the expansion of that. Would
Mhm.
as you we talked a little bit before the podcast, and the business has been growing. You said you'd been there for about a year,
Mhm.
and before that was about a year, and you guys are looking to 2x 3x your growth. What
Yep.
is the key if you're talking to a small business out there that's listening to this and you're leading the technical division as the CTO, um and have a great background in leadership and development of that. It was working towards your doctorate. We can get into a little
Mhm.
bit, but what's the key that these small business owners should be looking at to be able to kind of break through and scale at the rate that you guys are scaling?
So you have to be, very few people have infinite funds. And so people need to understand the kind of self-control. It really takes diligence and self-control to make sure you're prioritizing the right things at the right time. That sounds very simple, But it's like diet and exercise, right? It's very simple to explain, but to become healthy, a lot of people struggle with it. The same thing happens in business strategy. Being able to look at where are we and forecast where we want to be, and then work back and identify the milestones you'll have to hit along that journey. That's the key, is to really understand how many steps are between where we are and where we want to be, and then be very honest about, can we hit those steps? What's the likelihood of each step being hit? And I think far too many people work back. I was talking to somebody yesterday on this. Far too many people kind of do that work backwards model, but they dream. They put too much wishful thinking in it. They start with, in 2 years we're going to be $1 billion company. So in 1 year we're going to be a $500 million company. But they don't actually connect that back to where they are, and then make sure that the next step's achievable and the step after that's achievable. So you have to be very honest with, what are your goals and what are your skill sets? What are your resources that you can bring to bear to solve those problems? You have to ground yourself.
Yeah, that's a great point. I was actually on a call with a client here just a little bit ago today that talked they're running the same problem, right? So they know where they want to go, and but they're having to get really real with themselves about
Hmm.
where their weak spots are, because that's what's going to help fill those gaps to be able
Hmm.
to drive them forward. It's not necessarily a lofty goal they're going after. They've got the goal really underneath a good realization. It's just a matter of understanding that, wait, we have to fill this gap, whatever that
Hmm.
gap may be, because I'm just not good at it, or I don't like doing it, and so it's draining the energy out of the whole company.
Hmm.
But that is such a great perspective. Let's be real. You didn't start your business to feel stuck, overwhelmed, or bored out of your mind. But yet, here you are, spinning, stalled, or just chasing every shiny object just to stay motivated. And I know exactly how you feel, because I used to do the same thing. But that's why I built the Momentum community for founders like you. It's for people who are ready to get serious, simplify, and build a business that actually moves forward. It uses peer accountability, and it's what I used to be able to grow my business successfully and have a great exit. Does this sound like something you need? Click the link in the description below and let's have a conversation. Enjoy the rest of the show. You know, you've been working on going after a doctorate in leadership,
Hmm.
and that is no feat of its own. Talk a little bit about how you're approaching leadership from the CTO perspective of your team, and working with an underlying team under you, which I'm guessing starting to become multi-tiered. But
Hmm.
as you start to build leaders, what does that look like?
It's a good question. So I've really enjoyed the doctoral process. I'm going through Liberty University, and their programs, like, very functional, very tactical. It's not just high-minded theory. It feels very grounded, and it's helped me put a lot of formalization to things that I felt that I've kind of built on my own. A lot of the methods that I lean into, I've found formalized kind of labels for them over the past couple of years. Um, but my approach is, um, making sure I'm balancing this, building a sense of urgency, um, with, um, not panicking people. That's one of the things you kind of have to balance. Is, we're a small company. Our goals are aggressive. We're trying to 3x. We've 2 or 3x this year. We've got a 2 or 3x next year, 2 or 3x the year after that, to stay on track. Those are very aggressive goals. And some people, um, take the tactic where it's just barking this sense of panic, right? Move, 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 hustle. This, I guess, the whole hustle culture, and that I take a different approach. I like to build this shared sense of urgency, where we're very clear. Once we've identified those goals and the steps, those milestones, we lock in and we really push hard to achieve them. But I also try and have really good hiring practices where I'm hiring mature people. That doesn't mean they have to be of a certain age, but they have to be of a certain maturity level to kind of own their own success. We need people that don't have to be micromanaged. That we're also a remote company, so we need people that are self-starters, self-motivators, and enjoy delivering good work. Um, and so there's so many little facets there. I could talk literally probably for hours on it, but I think it starts with hiring the right people and then keeping them properly motivated and letting them understand what hitting these goals will do for them and everybody else.
Yeah, that's the keys to the success of definitely keeping them motivated and setting up all the right KPIs and metrics for
Hmm.
tracking that they're staying forth and looking forward. Looking
Hmm.
ahead at we talked about how this like AI is here now and you're doing some of
Hmm.
this stuff. So, and that I brought up in this podcast in the past where we look ahead and so if you're already like deep in it and doing this stuff with AI, what's next? What's the next 3 to 5 years past? So you hit your scale points at if you 2x and 3x over the next 2, 3 years,
Hmm.
what's the future look like in this industry? And how are you starting to think about this in 5 years?
Well, things that we're seeing. So the complexities that we're dealing with right now are the models, their base training data set. It's not always, uh, it's not trained on the whole, like a GPT-4, Claude 3.5. Like these are some of the models we use in our content creation. Um, they're trained on a large set of knowledge. Since our customers are law firms, we just can't be creative. We can't just make up information, right? So our system really brings in and augments the knowledge that these large language models have to access. We really try and tune up the factual accuracy to 100% because we want to make sure if we say this is the current state of a law or a statute in this state versus that state or US law, it just can't be made up. I think going forward, um, that's going to be possibly an industry difficult problem to solve because one of the things that's going on right now is AI itself. People are using AI and churning out so much content on the internet. So the next set of like public training, right? You get this kind of degradation of
Mm,
quality of input. So we're trying to build our own data classification ingestion system. That way, knowledge and knowledge management is within our ability to control. I think as far as like industry wide, I mean, these things are getting just better and better every day. I've been here a year and we've had to switch models numerous times. We've seen um, terrific progress though. Like the content quality that we can generate today is so much better than what was coming out last year. And then I think on the 3 to 5 year spectrum, we're planning on in the next 2 to 3 years, really leveraging video, audio capabilities, just really leaning into the overall creativity of AI in every way that could be imagined, I think. So really a rich media experience for our clients.
yeah, it's very unique and very, very neat as to all the high end tech that you guys are using and going forth. And definitely agree with the models improving over the course of the last year for sure. But even
Hmm.
if you take it over a 2 year window, it's mind blowing 2 years ago what it did versus what you
Fantastic.
can output today with it. So, yeah, absolutely amazing. It was a great interview. It's been great to get to know more about you and Firm Pilot and how you're progressing with using a specifically AI in the marketing place with your law firms. You ready to jump in, give us a couple of quick hitters in a hot seat round?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. The questions aren't too hard. Coffee or tea?
I drink coffee all day long.
I'm with you on that one. Cats or dogs?
We're dog people in this family.
If you could grab only one weapon or item during a zombie apocalypse, what would it be?
Oh, I'd probably have to get it's just one, probably something like a club or something that doesn't run out of ammo.
It's really funny. The last interview I did, the exact same response was like something that doesn't run out of ammo. It's scarcity, that or will be a scarcity during that time frame for sure. Favorite quote or phrase that you think about often?
Oh, perfect is the enemy of good. Um, it's I
Yes.
mean that comes up in our business talks quite a bit. So I think about that. Also the the misquoted Einstein. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. That one springs to mind too when I see myself or somebody on my team trying the same thing so many times. And like it's not working. Well, we got to
Yeah.
change the strategy.
Yep. The how about a book that has influenced your life the most?
Um, the last 2 or 3 years has been a lot of academic reading for the doctoral program, but Cotter's 8 Step Change Management was really one of my favorites the last couple of years.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
And the biggest obstacle that you have had to overcome, and one lesson you've learned from it.
In my career, I guess one of the biggest obstacles I've had personally is just speaking in public. I am very much a born introvert. I fell into this whole leadership track and only really pursued it because those around me told me I was doing a good job, which I think is kind of the tip is, you know, try things out. You never know what you're actually going to be good at, and enjoy.
That I love that. That is very, very powerful, and definitely resonates well. So, if you, for those listeners out there, and you want to work with John, how do they get a hold of you, John?
So if they wanted to like work with us at Firm Pilot or just collaborate in some type of AI and generative project, just John at firmpilot.com is probably the best way to reach out to me directly.
Okay.
Um,
That sounds great. And here we are here to support small business owners like you through the community, our community coaching program. If you're ready to take your business to the next level, you can easily do that by checking the show notes. All of the information and highlights from today's episode will be in the show notes or description if you're watching this on YouTube. And John, I really appreciate your time today. And for more podcast interviews supporting the small business community, click up here for the next episodes in the playlist. And John, thank you for your time. Until next time.